YouTube and Snapchat and fuckers. Welcome back to another installment of the Friday Wrap-Up. Well, we got one hell of a show for you. I don't know why I keep saying we. It's like I got like multiple personality disorder. I mean, I got one hell of a fucking show for you guys this week. So, it was a crazy week. Big week. Big. Had a lot of shit going on this week. But before we get into tonight's show, I want to tip my hat to today's libation. I'm drinking an Irish iced coffee. Now, I might have made this before on the show. I think I have. Very simple. Get yourself some Jameson's cold brew whiskey. It's Irish whiskey infused with coffee beans. Fucking phenomenal shit. You put 2 fingers of that for you non-bar folk. That's 2 shots of JMO over the rocks, and then top it with a little Irish cream. Give it a good stir, and it looks and tastes just like iced coffee, but with a kick. Salud, to drink up and be somebody, kids. All right, so foot prognosis. Well, I went to the doctor this week. I went to go see good old Dr. Goodwillie again, and I got some good news. You know, he x-rayed my foot, and he said, and I quote, "Well, I see your foot's progressing rather nicely." And then he went on to comment about my cast. You know, he's like, "Well, you know, I must say," he's like, "your cast is in remarkably good shape, and I have to also remark on the condition of your foot." I said, "Well, what do you mean, condition of my foot?" I said, "You just told me it's healing well." He goes, No. He's like, you'd be surprised at the dreadful condition that people's feet are usually in after a week or so in a cast. He goes, "You know, toes are clean." He says, "They're well groomed and manicured." I said, "Well, you know, I mean, I'm not a fucking savage. I take care of myself." So, you know. So he went on to tell me that the cast will come off on the 24th. So I'm delighted about that. Then I got a walking boot for about 2 weeks. So I go from being, you know, Captain Jack to fucking Frankenstein. And then, you know, my only concern was, you know, how soon can I start riding again? You know, that was it. That's the only thing I'm fucking worried about. So he goes, as soon as you can if you can stand up a motorbike, you should be able to ride. I went, fucking hey, there you go. And then he went on to tell me, he's like, "But, you know, please refrain from playing basketball." Now, this was the strange part of the whole... This guy took a look... I mean, look at me. Do I look like a fucking basketball player? I mean, I'm 5'7" on a good day. You know? I'm built like a fucking refrigerator. Can you see me going for a fucking layup? I mean, I watch it. But I mean, there was nothing on me that said basketball that day. Like, there was no... I wasn't wearing a fucking, like, Nets hat or a Bulls hat or anything. I mean, that's it. You know what I mean? But this guy looked at me and decided basketball. And he's not the only one that fucking made that mistake. Sunday, I ran into an old buddy of mine, and he saw my broken foot, and he goes, "Did you do that shit playing basketball?" Now, I went to high school with this kid. I never played basketball in high school. In high school, I played football and baseball. That's it. He knew that. And he was, I'm like, I just looked at him and went, "Yeah, sure." So I don't know why lately I'm throwing off a basketball vibe at people, but, you know, that's a whole other show. So anyhow, foot's doing good. Cash should be off on the 24th. Then I got to walk a boot for a couple of weeks, and I'm back to my old self. I will say, you know, the one thing... I'm not going to miss the peg leg, but the one thing I will miss about it is the fact that it terrifies the shit out of people. Because if you're looking straight at me, it looks like I'm missing a leg. So, like, the other day, I ran into a guy I know, right? And he knew I broke my foot. Someone had told him. So, I think I broke his fucking brain. Because he's looking at me, and he's staring straight at my peg leg, but he's standing in front. He's like, I thought you broke your foot. I went, "I did." And he's like, I mean, like, he couldn't fucking I said, so I had to turn so you could see my leg. I said, "I'm not missing a leg, dude." I said, "It's just..." But the guy couldn't fucking take his fix. He's talking to me and he's staring at my prosthetic leg. He couldn't function. I think I destroyed him. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna miss doing that to people. It scares the shit out of kids. Kids like will see it and then point. It delights me. But you know, I am gonna. I mean, I'll probably be using my cane, which I love this fucking cane, by the way. I had it custom made. It comes in handy, I gotta tell you. But I think I'm gonna miss carrying the pimp stick for a while. I might still. I mean, I'm probably still going to use it with the walking boot, but I don't know. I think around town or something. You know, if I take a trip into the city at some point, since I'm not allowed to carry a fucking firearm in Manhattan, I might as well take the stick. You know, who knows? But so that's it. That's the foot prognosis. Next up, I got my tattoo worked on this week. So I found a new tattoo artist. Okay, great guy. He was on Ink Masters. He's the guy's just a virtuoso when it comes to fucking tattoos. So I mean, if you want the guy's name, just inbox me and I'll send it to you. He's fucking amazing. But you know, it's funny because the guy that originally did my ink is a fucking kid. He's a pain in the ass. I thought he did a good job. People would stop me, they would compliment me on it, but he didn't finish it, and he went MIA. Let's put it to you that way. So I found this new guy. It came recommended. So I made an appointment. So I went Tuesday. So I was there 7 hours in the fucking chair just for him to, and he's still not finished. He's still got to color. You can't really see it because, you know, it's still wrapped up, but he's still got to do some more work on the cracking. But I didn't realize how bad my tattoo was until this fucking guy did what he did. Take a look at the before and after. Okay, it's like fucking night and day. I didn't know I was walking around with a piece of shit on my arm until this fucking guy got a hold of me. I mean, the color just fucking, it makes it. Now, you still got, like I said, do a little bit of work. I want to darken the boat up a little bit. He's got to do some more detail work on the cracking, but so far so good. So hopefully I have this done before the end of the summer. That'll be delightful. But the funny thing is, while I'm there, right, this guy's nuts. So he brings his dog to work. So he's got this rescue dog. Now, so I'm walking around, you know, I took a little bit of a break, so I'm walking around on my fucking peg, and, you know, my foot's hanging off the back of the peg, so it's just dangling. This fucking dog walks up behind me. I don't know if the dog thought it was like a treat or something. This son of a bitch jumps up and bites my fucking big toe. I almost jumped off the fucking peg. I don't know how I didn't swing my cane and hit the poor dog. So I moved, and the fucking dog starts growling like it thought it was a fucking treat. Like, I mean, this is why I don't like nature and I don't like sharks, because I know there's too much bacon and whiskey coursing through my veins. They smell it. Like, I have friends that are going to walk with some wolves, like some wolf habitat shit. You know something? I'm glad my foot's broken for once, because I would have been dumb enough to go, and I probably would have gotten mauled by a fucking wolf. So, you know, small miracles, I guess. So also, while I was there, like, listen, if you're gonna get tattooed, right, make sure whatever you're getting is something that will not get you killed, will not get you raped if you're ever going to jail. Okay? And make sure you're not a fucking pussy. All right? That's, you know, I mean, you got to be able to tolerate. It doesn't fucking tickle. Okay? People go, oh, tattoos don't hurt. Please. They don't tickle. I mean, it's not like excruciating pain. It's annoying, you know? Like, I mean, especially when they start digging in with the shading after a few hours. You know, it could get a little uncomfortable, but the guy even said, he goes, shit, dude, you don't even move. I'm like, yeah, I'm used to it. Like, I mean, it doesn't fucking bother me. But, and I know what you're thinking. So people who know me know I fucking hate needles. I can't get a blood test without fucking looking away. But this is different. It's a different type of the needle. It's a whole different type of thing. So that's a story for another day. But anyhow, so while I'm sitting there, this nerdy little Indian kid, and I'm not picking on Indian people. Michael, relax. My friend Michael's Indian. I don't want him to think that, you know, I'm being prejudiced. But he was just nerdy, and he was Indian. You know, he was like one of those, like this kid definitely still lived at home with mommy and daddy. Like, I mean, he was just like a total Long Island nerd, you know, into comic books and like fucking anime shit, and he's all disheveled looking, and, you know, his hair was all like fucking greasy, and he looked like a fucking refugee, like he was homeless. So he comes in, and he had some ink, but it was like shit ink, and he wanted one of the girls to tattoo on his forearm, and he had like fucking like thin little arms, some kind of like anime erotica type of thing with butterfly wings, and I'm sitting there watching it, and she's just doing the outline, which honestly that put me to sleep, and he's making he's sitting Indian style, first of all, no pun intended, but so when a guy sits Indian style, yeah, I making all these faces that were fucking disturbing me to the point where I says, I can't look at this fucking guy anymore. I says, he's disturbed. They made him turn around. His face was fucking bothering me. I'm thinking to myself, if this little fuck ever gets locked up, he's going to be somebody's dick puppet. I mean... Oh God! So Sunday was nice. I finally got out. I was, you know what? It was hot as balls on Sunday, right? And it was a nice day. I did some shit around the house and stuff. And I said, you know what? I was craving a fucking lobster roll. I don't know why. So I go to this place they usually hang out at called the Lazy Lobster. It's right on the water. It's nice, cute little bar. It's got like, walk up service, hobble up service. So I had my fucking my lobster roll. I'm hanging out at the bar. My old buddy Matt, who I used to go to high school with, was bartending there. So that was fun. I hadn't seen him in forever, so we're bullshitting. And as I'm sitting there, I'm starting to see things. When I start to see things for the summer, hot weather brings out the fucking mutants. All right, so you know what I'm going to say, right? Flip-flops and feet, and, you got to fucking keep those things. So there's two things that I noticed, again, I probably, one of these I've mentioned before. Guys wearing fucking slides with socks. What the fuck are you doing? You're basically saying to the world you've given up. Okay? That's the message you're implying. So if you're out wearing socks and slides and you're trying to fucking pick up on broads, ain't gonna work, pal. Okay? Get a fucking sneaker, wear like an ankle sock, clean your fucking self up. Now, the new thing that I've noticed, and I don't know if this is new or not, but I just happened to notice it fucking Sunday, which drove... I wanted to just start bashing people with my fucking cane as they walk past. There was it's like every other broad there was wearing these fucking platform sandals. Okay? So it's a regular fucking like sandal with like a fucking 1-inch... And I'm like, it looks ridiculous, okay? If you're walking around in this shit, if you were fucking standing there totally naked and you're the hottest broad in the world and you're wearing this, I'd break your fucking knees with my cane. I wouldn't even go near you, okay? They're fucking hideous. Ladies, I don't give a shit if you got nice feet or not or whatever. Wear a flip-flop, wear something else, wear other kind of summer shoes. Those do not belong out in public on your feet. You look fucking ridiculous, okay? So that's my little public service announcement for the summer. Okay? I'm sure there'll be more, but so far that's it. Okay, so Nostrilgate, the Cuomo saga continues. Federal prosecutors are now have subpoenaed material related to Nostrils' book as part of their probe into the nursing home deaths. Now, the subpoenas were directed at individuals who were involved in editing the book, some of them being state employees. So he used state employees in some of these instances to edit material. So while using taxpayer resources for personal gain, that's fucking stealing, okay? So on top of this son of a bitch killing old people, okay, fondling people, allegedly, he's also stealing from taxpayers, using our tax dollars to pay state employees to edit his fucking book, which he got $5 million for. And this son of a bitch expects to be fucking reelected. The balls! The balls! So, they're comparing what he was telling people, or what he was telling the public, to what he wrote in the book to see if there's any inconsistencies. Now, all this means is that the investigation is broadening, because before it was at the state level, it was the state AG's office, right? Now the feds are getting involved, okay? And it's never a good sign when the fucking feds get involved, especially if you got a vowel at the end of your name. So, my advice here is you better practice holding your ankles there, Andy boy. Fucking hacks are gonna love him in the joint. Two of them can fuck him in the nostrils while another one bangs him in the ass. Couldn't have happened to a nicer cocksucker. Anyhow, the corona update. So, the school mask mandate. Last week I told you, breaking news, came right across the news before I started the show, that Cuomo said that starting Monday, kids wouldn't have to wear fucking masks to school, right? Everybody was fucking elated. Because it's 1,000 degrees right now, okay, with the humidity and everything. Sitting in fucking school with a mask is probably not a fucking pleasurable thing. Considering last year all these kids were homeschooled, so they didn't have to do this for fucking 8 hours a day, all right? So, I agree with no masks in school. Fucking agree with that 100%. Anyhow, Cuomo jumped the shark and did a 180. All of a sudden, he just the state issued a mandate come Monday that you have to wear the masks in school. For no other fucking reason. The CDC didn't come out with anything. Nobody said anything. He backtracked it. Meanwhile, the fucking the mandate that he put into writing specifically stated masks do not need to be worn inside the school. And then he fucking started to walk that back. Parents went fucking insane, okay? And they're now demanding that the kids be allowed to go maskless. Listen, I don't disagree with them. It's 100 fucking degrees. COVID is over, okay? Okay? But Cuomo, he wanted to compromise. And he says, well, we won't allow masks outside. You don't have to wear a mask outside. Big fucking deal. You're outside. What kid is wearing a fucking mask outside? Okay? Some nervous little fruit. So, some schools, to placate parents, tried to invoke their own mask rules, saying that, masks would be optional inside the school. You don't have to wear it if you don't want to, and if you want to, you can. And the state quickly threatened them. They basically said, no. If you do that, then we're going to shut you down, switch you to fucking remote learning, and they even threatened to fire the superintendents of some schools. So these fucking guys are not going to jeopardize their six-figure career for doing nothing over fucking masks. So they removed their own proprietary mandate. Listen, let these fucking kids what do we got, 2-3 weeks left of school? Let them fucking go to school without a mask. It's 100 fucking degrees in there. There's no air conditioning in the schools. You're sweating your fucking hams off. Let them fucking breathe. I don't understand. What is the problem? I mean, there is no scientific evidence that shows that these fucking masks work. As a matter of fact, all of the evidence corroborates the fact that they don't fucking work. Okay? If you're still wearing a mask at this point, all right, you're a nervous fucking imbecile. So fucking stop it. The current infection rate is like 0.4%. Okay? That's like a half of a person. Basically, a midget came down with a fresh case of the wolf flu last week. All right? And don't worry. That little fucker will be fine. Fairy tale creatures don't die. All right? Next up, New York City is implementing segregated seating in restaurants. And they're giving better seating to vaccinated people as opposed to non-vaccinated people. So it's like back in the day, some of you kids may not remember this shit. Some of you people do. Smoking sections versus non-smoking sections. But here's why this is stupid, okay? By state law, if you are less than a 250 person capacity, which pretty much every fucking restaurant in New York City is. No restaurant in New York City is seating 250 people or more. So if you're less than a 250 person capacity, you're not allowed to ask for a vaccination card. That's a law. That's a state law. It's a mandate. Okay? Anybody who does that is in violation of state law. Little fun fact for you here on the Friday wrap-up, okay? So, anybody who asks, if you go into a fucking restaurant, someone asks you for your vax card, go like that. All right? Ask them if you'd like them to call the fucking SLA, have their liquor license pulled. Because they're not allowed to ask you that. If it's a catering hall, fine. But it's usually pre-screened. If you got guests coming for a wedding or whatever, you have to find out who's vaccinated, who's not, and provide, I guess, the catering facility with a list. Okay, so that they could. All right, I get that. It's 250, but that aside, okay. So first of all, they're not allowed to fucking ask you. Okay, they're not doctors. All right, they wouldn't even know what if you produce a fake card? They're out there. Okay, don't kid yourselves thinking that they're not. Trust me, I know for a fact they're out there. Okay, so they wouldn't know a fake card from a real card. They're fucking waitresses and hostesses in fucking restaurants. They're not doctors. They don't fucking know shit, okay? So, again, tell them you got a 9-inch dick. Ask them if they want to see that. And then put the card right on the end of it and bang them over the fucking head with the card, which is goddamn dick. If you're a guy. If you're a woman and you have a penis, you got a different kind of problem, okay? It blows my mind. They're not allowed to ask people about their medical situation. Like you don't go into a restaurant, someone asks you if you got HIV, right? They don't ask you if you got cancer. They don't ask you if you got herpes. They don't fucking ask you if you got the clap. This would be information that would be kind of useful to know. But they can't ask you that. You know why? It's fucking unlawful. It's discriminatory. It has nothing to do with the HIPAA laws. HIPAA laws are strictly for the medical profession. A lot of people are getting that confused. A restaurant is not a medical office. It's not part of the medical profession. But it is discriminatory. Okay, and if they're less than 250%, if they're less than a 250 person capacity, it's in violation of state law. So tell them to suck your dick. Okay, so they're supposed to be going on the honor system. So if they're going on the honor system, this is even dumber because you're now alienating customers and vax shaming them. Okay, for no reason, and this is going to cause you business loss. Look. Okay, if you're vaccinated, right? That's your choice. I'm not poo-pooing on it, but if you're vaccinated, that means you can't contract the virus, you can't share the virus. And the only people who are at risk of getting the virus are people who are non-vaccinated. So if they're going to fucking lie about it, that's the risk that they're running. Fuck them. If they get it, they get it. Listen, I'm one of those people. I'm not vaccinated. But if you ask me, I'll tell you I am. Okay, if it means sitting in a fucking closet or sitting like a normal person, I'm gonna fucking sit there. If I get the coronavirus, that's on me. Okay, I can't be mad at nobody. I'll be fine in a week or so. That's all. Okay, but that's basically what's happening in New York City right now. So you would think that these fucking restaurant owners coming out of a pandemic where they've almost lost their whole fucking livelihood, they wouldn't do anything to jeopardize it. These fucksticks now going ahead and making their lives even harder than it needs to be. Okay? It's stupid. It's just fucking stupid. All right, kids. Get your tickets out. Get ready. We're about to jump on board. The crazy train is leaving the station. All aboard! Woo! Woo! Okay, so first stop, Washington, D.C. No, it's not political. Okay? This delighted me. So we all know that Sleepy Joe is going overseas to, the G7 summit. He's meeting with Boris, what the fuck's his name, the Prime Minister of, Boris Johnson, Prime Minister of England. And he's supposedly going to meet with Putin. But this isn't about that. So he obviously is flying over in Air Force One. But, his press plane, separate plane, that we pay for, by the way. Loaded with CNN fucking reporters that are going to softball him questions. No real fucking journalists. Well, anyway, they're taking a separate flight. The plane got fucking grounded. It couldn't take off because it got swarmed by cicada bugs. Okay? Which, apparently these cicadas are running a fucking muck. Now, listen, we all know what cicadas are. Those big fucking, it almost looks like a cricket. It's literally that big. It's like a fucking Volkswagen with with wings, all right? And they make that sound during the day. Now, apparently these things only come out every 17 years, which I didn't know that because I feel like as a kid, they were out every fucking summer. You're never going to see them in the city. Like in Brooklyn and Queens, we didn't have them. But like whenever I came out to the island or growing up on the island later on in life or, just going out to Jersey or something, it seems like every summer I heard cicada bugs, right? Even up in the Catskills and the upstate and shit like that where I used to go as a kid. It seems like every fucking summer I used to hear these fucking things. Well, apparently they only come out every 17 years. So they swarmed the plane's engines and the plane couldn't fucking take off. Imagine this should have happened to Air Force One. Okay. Apparently they also caused an accident in fucking Cincinnati too. Somebody's driving along and a fucking cicada bug flew into the car and they swerved and smashed into a fucking pole, demolished the whole front of the car. There was a Honda or some shit. Imagine these fucking cicadas. This is what we need now, okay? We had the wolf flu, we had murder hornets, we had shark attacks, now cicada bugs, okay? Bird flu and cicada bugs. This is going to be 2021's legacy. Unbelievable. Next stop, Australia. Good night, mate. Okay, Chris Hemsworth. We all know who he is, Thor. All right, so Chris Hemsworth broke the internet last week with his arms. Not literally, but almost. So he's been bulking up. Okay, not just to play Thor, but he's also portraying Hulk Hogan in an upcoming biopic of the famous wrestler. Now, we all know who Hulk Hogan is. So Hulk approved of Hemsworth's gains in a tweet. Okay. Now, I'm looking forward to this movie because who didn't love Hulk Hogan growing up? Come on. What are you going to do, brother, when these 24-inch pythons run wild on you? Yeah. Remember, come on. We all remember that. But, that was back in the glory days of wrestling, and as soon as I found out it was fake, I stopped watching. But if you're a guy and you're older than 8 years old and you don't have any kids and you're still a wrestling fan, well, chances are you probably live in your mother's basement and you have questionable hygiene and no ability to dress yourself appropriately, and you probably lost your virginity to a 60-year-old Asian hooker who cried the entire time and then promptly killed herself afterwards. And it was probably the most expensive 4.5 minutes of your life. Next stop, Seattle, Washington, Amazon. Okay? I think they're in Seattle. Amazon's everywhere now. Have you seen this fucking new Amazon commercial with this deaf guy? Okay? He looks like a pedophile Santa Claus. All right? I don't understand what the point of this commercial is. Okay? First of all, he comes on. He's got a lesbian haircut, like an old lesbian haircut, and this long fucking white beard. First of all, you could kind of sort of understand what a deaf person says when they try to talk. Okay? All right, and he's signing on top of it, and I don't understand it. And he's got kids sitting on his lap. He looks like a fucking pedophile. I don't get the point of this commercial. And every time I say it, I want to smash the television. Fucking enrages me. Shut the fuck up. All right. So what? They hired disabled people. That's what I'm getting at. Is they hired disabled people. So now when your order gets fucked up, you know why. Okay? Maybe Deaf Danny got a hold of it, or Blind Bobby, or Crippled Carl, or Retarded Rhonda. Maybe Armless Aaron tried packing your box with his teeth. Wheelchair Willie and fucking Legless Louise. I mean, is this what's at Amazon now? Mutants? Unfucking believable. Okay, well, your sports update. Whoa. Okay, the Yankees are still in fucking third place. I mean, it feels like they've been in third place the entire season. Currently, they're 6 games out of first. Or maybe 7, because they did lose to the Twins last night. It's June now. All right, it's not April. It ain't May. So it's far from early anymore. Okay, I don't want to hear this shit. It's still early. It's far from early, okay? Just as it's far from certain that this team is going to magically morph into this offensive juggernaut that everybody keeps delusionally promising. I mean, Boone is in a much more vulnerable position these days, especially since his contract is up at the end of the season, but doesn't seem to be fucking motivating him. So, last weekend, right? Big weekend. Told you the Yankees were playing the Red Sox. Well, they got fucking swept by the Sox, okay? And Sunday night, that fucking seed-chewing chimp of a fucking manager, Boone, failed to argue one of the most egregious third strike calls of any fucking season, okay? So, Boston's pitcher, and this, I'm not even making this guy's name up. This is his name, Ruffin Odor. Ruffin Odor. He's probably from the Dominican Republic. What the fuck knows? That's his name, Ruffin Odor. All right? He was called out on a curveball well outside of the 9th inning of a tie fucking game with the winning run at third base. Okay? Boone did fucking nothing. He just sat there chewing on fucking pumpkin seeds. Now, the third base coach, Phil Nevin, who just got back from a bout of the Wu flu, he fucking lost his shit and argued the call and ended up getting ejected for it, okay? So it made Boone look even more of a fucking... It made him look like even more of a fucking asshole. Matter of fact, former Yankees pitcher Phil Hughes tweeted, Phil Nevin can barely walk and he's the guy standing up for his guys? How does the fucking manager not argue that call? That's the fucking call you get thrown out on. Not let your third base coach do it, you fucking Mary. So, listen, firing Joe Girardi at the end of 20 was a fucking regrettable decision. If management is not regretting it, then they don't know what the fuck they're doing at all, okay? Girardi's worst season with the Yankees was nowhere close to this shit. He had them at the doorstep of the World Series. The team really hasn't changed much. Boone gets a hold of it. They haven't even fucking gotten close. Okay? Players and personnel really haven't fucking rolled over since the Girardi days. So I don't understand what the problem is. Okay? I mean, I do. I understand what the problem is. I don't see how nobody else in upper management, the New York Yankees, don't see the fucking problem. I mean, Hal Steinbrenner needs to grow a fucking set of balls like his old man, and shit can Boone and that fuckstick Cashman for hiring this jerk off and allowing him to destroy the most iconic baseball team in the fucking world and give him agita for the last couple of years to boot. George Steinbrenner must be rolling in his fucking grave. These are the days that I miss George Steinbrenner the most. This is the guy that fired Billy Martin twice in one game. Okay? Fired him, rehired him in another inning, and then fired him again. Right? That's the kind of management they need. not his pussy son. Okay, so the Yanks are off tonight, but they play the Phillies tomorrow at 8:00. Now, ooh, that's a tough one for me. Okay, because I like the Phils. I mean, if you make me pick, obviously I'm picking the Yankees over the Phillies. But then that's Joe Girardi's team, and he's coming back to, I think they're playing the first game in the Bronx. I think. Which, you know, I mean, you could throw shade at Girardi for, you know, for the Phillies not being in first place, but the fact of the matter is they're maybe like a game and a half out of first. I mean, and they're contending with the Mets. All right, you know, they're holding their own. They will be in the playoffs. I guarantee you that. And they don't have the best roster in the world. Okay, the Yankees do. The Yankees have a far better roster than the Phillies, and the Phillies are playing better. What does that tell you? Management. Okay? I feel like Mickey and Rocky. Management, Rock. That's what you need, a manager. Anyway. And yeah, the Mets are still in fucking first place. This world is coming to a fucking... It's going to hell in a handbasket, kids. Okay, NHL. The Islanders beat the Bruins the other night. In 6 games at the Coliseum, and they have now advanced to the semifinals against Tampa Bay. Now, for those of you that forgot, Tampa Bay is the team that beat them last year and then went on to win the Stanley Cup. So, you know, if you're an Islander fan, congratulations. At this point, I don't really care anymore. I just really hated the fucking Bruins, and I wanted to see the Islanders beat them. If the Islanders win the Cup, hey, cool. I mean, that's if they're going to win a Stanley Cup, this would be the year to do it. You know, last year at the old barn, you won your first cup there, won your last cup there. But if they don't, I don't really give a shit. I'm not an Islander fan. I'm a fucking Ranger fan, like I said. And Tampa's a solid team, so we'll see what happens. You know, I mean, I'll still report it. That's what I do. But at this point, it is what it is. NBA playoffs. The Nets dropped one to Milwaukee last night, mostly due to the bungling of their shooting guard, Bruce Brown, who fucked up some key plays that cost the Nets some points. I don't know how they didn't break his fucking legs at the end of this fucking game. This guy fouled up more fucking shots for Kevin Durant than anything else. He fucked up a key 2-point shot that we needed. He was just a clusterfuck. But, you know, it's all right. Milwaukee didn't make it to the playoffs because they sucked. Give them one. But they play again on Sunday. I'm fully confident that the Nets will take this series fairly easily. I'm telling you, they could be the next NBA champs. They keep playing the way they're playing. Okay, and this is without James Harden. So when Harden comes back, which I think he should, not for this series, but I think if they advance, he'll definitely be back. They'll pretty much be unstoppable. Okay, I'm happy to see that. So, next up, some NFL news. Former Giants head coach Jim Fossil died this week. He was 71 years old. He punched out 4 years too early, right? Now, he coached the Giants during the 2001 Super Bowl that they dropped to the Ravens 34-7. You remember that fucking disgrace? Okay? With that piece of shit quarterback, Kerry Collins. First of all, if you're a fucking QB in the NFL and you got a girl's name, don't expect to win a fucking Super Bowl. It's logic. Okay? So, he was a lackluster coach. I wasn't really a big fan of Fossil. So, you know, sorry to see him go, but fuck him. Okay. So, on What the Fuck Is That, we're going to talk about Artie Lange's nose. Now, for those of you who have no idea who the fuck Artie Lange is, take a quick look. Artie Lange used to be Howard Stern's sidekick, comedic sidekick on the Howard Stern Show. I'm not a big Howard Stern fan. I've had a few run-ins with him in my day, in a past life. I think he's a dick, but that's just my opinion. That's actually a fact. But Artie Lange, funny comedian. He actually is a very funny fucking comedian, but the guy has had a massive drug and gambling problem. Heroin, cocaine. I mean, he's openly admitted it on the air. It's actually, that's what got him fired. Howard Stern tried to help him a few times, you know, rehab and what have you. And, you know, they gave him plenty of chances. As a matter of fact, the whole entertainment industry really just enabled this fucking guy. So he's been in and out of rehab. You know, he's, you know, it is what it is. But you saw the picture, right? So after I recently came across this in a fucking article, and I had to do like a double take. So his fucking nose is collapsed now. Take a look. Look at that. That's from decades of snorting cocaine and heroin. What it does is it fucking erodes your septum, you know, and he called the cartilage and the bone and everything like that. I mean, just so his fucking nose is collapsed. Now, what happened was, so he had like nothing left. It was like a bulbous. It's held together by the swelling from snorting too much cocaine. So he got kidnapped because he's a degenerate fucking gambler. So he owed somebody money, and I guess the kid that the guy had collecting figured, because Artie Lang is semi-famous, that he's like a fucking like gajillionaire. So he jumped him, smashed him in the face, popped his fucking nose, threw him in a van, and was going to hold him for ransom. Artie Lang somehow talked his way out of it. The kid got scared and left, but his nose is completely fucking destroyed. It's just, look at it. It looks like a deflated fucking condom. It looks like a used condom on his face. Imagine, okay? I mean, he's not winning any beauty contests even beforehand. But so one more before and there. So here's the last pick, right? So the 2005 shot, that's what Artie Lang looked like. Now he's gone through rehab and all this other stuff. He's court-appointed rehab because he got himself into fucking trouble and shit like that. And now I guess he's like a couple, you know, whatever, a little sober or whatever. So he's lost some weight, he's thinned out, but his nose is still fucked up. I don't think you can fix that. I don't know how you would fix that. Okay? I mean, I'm sure, then again, you never know. There's a plastic surgeon that got Gorilla Glue out of a girl's hair. Maybe they can rebuild his fucking nose. But, I mean, it looks like a fucking used condom stuck to his face now. Imagine this. So this is what I mean. Say no to drugs, kids, because this is what happens to your fucking face, okay? It looks like a deflated condom. You want to walk around like that? Guy can't wear fucking sunglasses. All right? So, before we close, let me just, you know how I always give you my little observation. So lately, you know, with the fucking peg leg and the cane and the cast and the broken foot, parking and getting in and out of places is a pain in the ass. So, you know, I've been parking in fucking handicap spots. I ain't gonna fucking lie. So I asked my doctor Monday when I was there about like a temporary handicap parking pass. And he goes, oh, sure, just download the paperwork from the Department of Motor Vehicles and fill it out and fax it in and we'll sign it. So it seems like a fairly simple process, right? Download a form, fill it out, send it in, have them fill it out, send it to wherever the fuck I gotta send it. I can't believe how fucking difficult it is to get one of these goddamn... First of all, the DMV is not where you go to get this. You gotta go to the fucking county website. So after about 15, 20 minutes, I figured that out. So I fill out the thing, right? Then I call the doctor's office to get their email address. Fucking 3 days before anybody gets back to me. So in the meantime, I called the county to find out what I got to do. They said, well, you got to get it signed by the doctor. But you need an original signature, fax copies, and this and that won't work. I says, do you understand that I'm having difficulty walking? So I got to go, get out of the car, go into the doctor's office, have him fucking sign it, come back, and then I got to physically bring it to Uniondale, which probably have to park 90 fucking yards away from the goddamn... I said, but wait a minute, what happens if I was crippled, like a real fucking cripple, okay? You're gonna make it this fucking difficult? Why can't I just email it to you? I don't understand, okay? They're making it so fucking difficult. I swear to God, I hope I get a permanent one because I'll park at every goddamn handicap spot I see. Now listen, I know what you're thinking. That's terrible. Shut the fuck up, okay? Because you know what? I don't feel bad. Because 98% of the people who fucking use handicap spots are fucking fine. Okay? They just got a doctor to lie for them. Most of them are just fucking old anyway, and they don't need to be out annoying people. All right? With their slowness. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. They're just old and slow. Now, if I see a heavily disabled person, okay, and they need my spot, well, I would just fucking tell them to go home. I mean... Nobody wants to deal with that crippled ass. Get Peapod or something. Get somebody to deliver it. Find a friend. Get a relative. Hey, go fuck yourself. Anyway, that's been your Friday wrap-up, kids. Hope you enjoy your weekend. Stay out of trouble. And I'll see you when I see you.